So I'm gonna try to make this quick. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible today. So I have a single at RP7 and I have a 4x4 at RP7. So today is supposed to be pretty intense. And the goal is always to do a little bit more than last week. So last week I did 804 for my top and I did 600 for 3 sets of 3. So today I want to aim for maybe a 48, and then for my back downs I'd like to do at least 650, where I'm going to try to do one set hook for that 650. If I could do 650 for 4 hook, that'd be phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. I'd be so happy. But yeah, today we came with TSS just cause, you know, like, yeah, heavy metal is cool and all, but I already have a membership here, so it's kind of counterintuitive going somewhere where you gotta pay every day to get in. So it was either TSS or Golds today. Whew, I'm rocking the Curse Mark 100s today. I actually weighed in heavy today at 400. It's been a long time since I've been 400, but I know exactly why. I'm later in the week, second to last training session. So the further you get into a week, the more fatigue you're holding. The more fatigue you're holding, the easier it is for your body to release cortisol. And the easier it is for it to just retain weight, period. So yesterday, I kind of carb loaded unintentionally and, you know, drank a lot of water before bed because I had a headache. And then what happens when you eat a lot of carbs and drink a lot of water? Boom, you restore your glycogen stores. And essentially, that's one of the ways that your body retains water at all, is through the creation of glycogen. Because you get glycogen when you have, I think, 2 carb molecules and 1 hydrogen molecule. Boom. So anyways, that's it. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna get warmed up and then we're gonna go ahead and start pulling some weights. All right, so that was 716 for 1. I think I'm gonna jump to 804 and turn it up a little bit. Just kind of like start channeling some internal aggression, right? Because I'm still getting a little bit of a nagging headache. I don't know if I mentioned it already before, but I was talking to Mike when I said this, but I've had a headache from yesterday night, so it's just kind of there bugging me, and it's like honestly pissing me off. So, and I just feel like being a little heavier today is kind of throwing me off a little bit. So what I'm kind of planning on doing is widening out a tiny bit. Right, I don't want to get too far from what we've been doing, but I believe a slight adjustment will do wonders. There we go. That was 892 for one. And I don't know, I'm a little conflicted about it. There's a lot to take from both of these. There's a lot to take from the pros and the cons, right? Like, pros. I have the strength to pull what I'm pulling, right? After second week pulling kilos, which is big, because last week I definitely didn't feel that good pulling on keys. It's just so infuriating and so frustrating when I'm not pulling how I want to for a plethora of reasons. Like a big plethora of reasons, right? All right, so pros. Pulling strength is on the positive side. It's not like I've pulled this much weight like way better. I've pulled it to better standard. I've pulled it faster. Not to say that this was a bad rep by any means, but it definitely wasn't. It isn't what I'm aiming for. Like, I don't think you guys understand. The vision that I have in mind is one of perfection. Like, I want my reps to look so dang smooth that it's like, holy shoot, is Jesus even really trying? Like, that is what I'm aiming for. And I'm not there yet. You can visibly tell that I was trying on the 892. And then to boot, the two cons, the bar rolled a little bit at the top. And because the bar rolled, the weight and the momentum of that bar rolling created an opposite force in which I was pulling, right? And that opposite force caused my knees to bend just enough for it to be a softer lockout. Now, my upper body and my hips were all the way through. So that could be 2 whites or 2 reds, depending on how you feel about that lockout. That isn't good enough. It can't be. It won't be. So the work continues, you know. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to 650 and I'm gonna try to do all my sets at 650, right? I don't feel too bad, but I can tell that I need to start pushing my beltless loads on deadlifts a little bit more than what I've been. I need to strengthen my low back and all those little muscles that I don't really work when I use a belt. So I'm gonna do all these beltless, gonna do my 650, and then I have a 4x4, but you guys know how I feel about doing a 4th set. So for sure, locked in for 3 sets, and then depending on how we feel, mentally we'll go for that 4th. Not bad, not bad. My quads are shot, fellas. Whew. At least I managed to get 1 set with 650. So now I think I'm gonna drop to 606. If I had to say one thing about that first set is, man, I wish I would have just held it a little longer. If I could have held it a little longer, that would have been so sweet. Would have been a perfect set. Not a bad deadlift session at all. Was it perfect? No, far from it. But we definitely had a lot of good positives, right? Even though my low back and my quads were starting to fatigue, we managed to do at least 3 sets out of the 4, right? I think that 4th set might have been a little too much, if I'm being honest, but that's the liberty I take with my own training. Not something I would often recommend, but when you get to a certain point, you're just become so familiar with your body, like you know what's too much and what's not enough and whatnot. And today was, definitely a good amount of work. We did 892 for top single, and then after that, what else did we do? Oh yeah, we did 650 for 4 hook grip, and then we dropped down to 606 for my last two sets of 4. And we did those mixed without a single tear. So that is 6 weeks without any substantial kind of tear. That is a heck of a generational run, baby. But serious talk, let's be a little bit more objective, right? So that bar that I used is a red Cerakote Ohio Power Bar, and it is known to be a little, like, it's just that coating isn't as sticky as some of the other bars, and they're knurling, right? Like the calibrated OPB and even the regular stainless steel 45-pound OPB. That knurling is probably top 5 out of any bar you could potentially buy. And if you want to put price versus what do you call, like, cost effectiveness, it's probably top 2, top 3. But I mean, regardless, even though it sucks that the bar rolled a little bit, my hand didn't completely like bust open, and I didn't just drop the bar, and I didn't just like fumble the rep. I was able to intentionally hold that rep for a few seconds. So that lets me know it's not a strength issue. It's just the bar spun in my hand at lockout, and my body had to, what's the word? There's a particular word. compensate. My body compensated for that motion that was created, right? And then from an unbiased, well, I guess it's a little biased, it's really good to pull 892 at this point in time because this is my 6th week back in training and my 2nd week back on kilos and stuff like that. And there's always a bit of a turnover period when you train on a specific kind of plate and then you translate over to a much stiffer, harder setup. Right now, evidently, speed and strength was the issue. It's just the way it feels coming off the ground that is in my, to you guys, it might not seem like a much difference at all, but the way it feels on my muscles and my body, that is different, and that is going to affect me marginally, right? And then I did manage to pull 650 for 4 hook grip, which is a big PR for me. I've never repped. Essentially, any kind of weight that I do hook grip for reps at this point moving forward is going to be a PR, unless it's less than what I've done before, right? But I mean, for sets of 4, I think I've done 800 for 4 with the belt and mixed grip, but hook grip is different. I mean, like, I ain't gonna lie, my thumbs were kind of hurting on that 4th rep. But we got it done regardless. I just wish I would have been able to hold that 4th rep a little longer. If I have any qualms with that, I wish I would have held that 4th rep a little longer. But I mean, it's a good amount of weight to hit for reps. And then I had to drop down to 600 because my quad just felt absolutely toast. Just whatever amount of fatigue that I'm holding. So I made an adjustment and I dropped the weight, and 606 for 4 honestly felt pretty dang good. I mean, it didn't feel great, you know, like there was some discomfort and a little pain going on due to the fatigue, but what I'm saying is the weight moved as it should for the day, right? Yeah, I probably could have done a lot more reps with that, but just the way my body felt, it was a comfortable, like, RPE is what I'm saying. So now what I have is gonna work legs, you know. I wanna do 3 sets of pendulum squat with either some leg extensions and leg curls and call it there, or maybe pendulum squats, leg curls, adductor, abductor, and then we'll call it there. Like, I want to be more intentional about working out. Like, I've been telling you guys for the last 2 weeks, since I'm benching 3 times a week now, I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth out of hitting legs 2 times a week, because gym bro, right? But anyways, that's enough yapping. I got everything packed. It's just time to go to the other room and get started with these accessories. I'm gonna record 1 set of each, and we'll get going. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude today's workout. Not bad, not bad. So, just a quick recap we did. I'm just recording my outro, bro. So today we did, we worked up to 892 for top. Maybe we'll give it a C-, right? Because it's depending on how you would rule it. What angle you're looking at could have been 2 reds or 2 whites. I am of the sentiment that had it been on a bar with bitter knurling, maybe a little bitter, but regardless, we get to walk away healthy. We have to fight another day. And then back downs were really on the money. You know, just working beltless. Did the top set with hook for a PR, and then we jumped down to 606 for 2 sets of forward. And then we did ascending sets on the pendulum squat. 1 set of 12, 1 set of 8, 1 set of 10. And then we did 3 sets of 15, no, 1 set of 15, 2 sets of 12 on the leg curl. Excuse me, just because if I push the leg curls too hard, I cramp really bad later in the day. So I need to make sure that I stay on top of my hydration. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.